I'm Nick Belbas, Director of Acquisitions at Granite Towers Equity Group. I oversee deal flow from sourcing and evaluation to due diligence and closing. I've been at Granite Towers for a little over 3 years, and we own and operate about 3,100 units of multifamily and 2 triple net lease assets. As I started to study real estate investing, it just made a lot of sense to me. I like that it's simple and it's not rocket science. And at Granite Towers, our mission is to create financial freedom for our investors. And I just view real estate as a powerful vehicle to build passive income and really create wealth in a tax-efficient way. So that's what drew me to real estate. I would say the past 3 years, the biggest challenge had to have been the capital markets and rising interest rates. I mean, we bought a few assets in 2021 and 2022 on floating rate debt. You know, we've just seen an unprecedented rise in interest rates. And when your interest rate on that deal goes from, say, 3.5% to over 8%, you're not going to be sending out cash to your investors, unfortunately. That puts a lot of pressure on the deal. You're going to be stacking your cash as much as possible, getting ready to either buy that next rate cap or refinance the deal. So I would say one of the biggest wins at Granite Towers over the past 12 months is we completed the refinance of 3 deals from floating rate debt to fixed rate agency debt. And those deals are now in a great position to, create a good exit for all of our investors. So that's what I would say. Biggest challenge for investors today, from what I'm seeing, as we're looking at these value add deals, we're looking at anything from, 1970s to 2010 in Dallas and Nashville. And it just seems like, not on all deals, but on a lot of deals, there's a big gap between the bid and the ask price, what the sellers want and what the buyers are ready to pay for it. And I think that comes down to the basis that a lot of these buyers came in at back in 21, 2022. Things were trading for really high values. And a lot of the sellers these days want to get out and break even. With where interest rates are at today, it just doesn't really make sense from the buyer's side. So we've seen on a lot of deals, it's challenging to bridge that gap between the bid and the ask. I'll have to go with 2. Real estate investor, I would say Scott Everett is a young guy who's built a big portfolio, and I think it's just inspirational what he's done at S2. And I look up to Paul Tudor Jones, who is a legendary trader. I like the way he thinks about risk and reward, and I like how he invests with conviction.